Morning in room 312 carried a strange rhythm. Ruth's side of the room always looked like a shrine of order, neatly made bed, folded clothes stacked in a corner, Bibles and notebooks aligned with precision. Her little world was quiet, predictable, structured. Across from it, Vanessa's side resembled a battlefield of fabric and perfume, half-open shopping bags, glittery heels kicked under the bed, a faint cloud of expensive fragrance clinging to the curtains. Even in sleep, Vanessa dominated the air. Ruth rose early, whispering morning prayers while Vanessa still lay sprawled across her sheets. Sunlight cut through the blinds, catching Vanessa's face at an angle, painting her beauty in sharp relief. She looked untouchable, lashes curled, skin smooth, her expression careless. Ruth often found herself staring too long, torn between admiration and silent irritation. The girl who never tried seemed to receive everything she prayed for. The day unfolded in the university like a test of endurance. Ruth sat through lectures with tired eyes, filling pages with detailed notes. She was always the quiet observer, head bent, pen scratching, doing the work not only for herself but for the roommate who never showed up. Professors knew her face, though most ignored her presence. She was reliable but invisible, the kind of student who could vanish tomorrow and leave no ripples in the water. Vanessa, meanwhile, appeared on campus only when it suited her, gliding into lecture halls halfway through, dressed like a runway model, phone buzzing in her hand. Students whispered as she passed. Girls envied her, boys gawked, and even lecturers shifted uncomfortably when she leaned too close. It was not her intelligence that commanded attention, but the aura she carried, confident, dangerous, always a little out of reach. By afternoon, Ruth was already weary from hours in the library. She traced fluorescent lines across her textbooks, reciting theories under her breath. Her stomach grumbled, but she ignored it. She had grown used to hunger, trading lunch for photocopies of lecture slides or overdue library fees. Around her, other students packed up in laughter, headed for cheap restaurants or campus hangouts. Ruth stayed behind, clutching her pen as if her future could only be written in ink and exhaustion. Her phone buzzed. Vanessa's name. A picture of fried chicken and soda, captioned, "For you. Don't say I don't care." Ruth sighed. It was always like this, reckless gifts dropped into her life without thought. Vanessa called it kindness, Ruth called it crumbs of guilt. That evening, back in room 312, the cycle replayed itself. Vanessa burst in at midnight, heels clattering, perfume clouding the room. Shopping bags hit the floor with careless thuds. She hummed a tune, scrolling through her phone with a lazy smile, then tossed a glossy paper bag onto Ruth's bed. Inside, a body spray still sealed in plastic. "For you," Vanessa muttered, though her eyes never left the glowing screen. Ruth held the gift in her hands, torn. She liked it, the scent was sweet, light, almost angelic. But beneath her gratitude lingered unease. She wondered what kind of man had bought it, and what Vanessa had promised in return. The tension between them thickened as exam season drew closer. Ruth worked late nights, whispering equations to herself, eyelids heavy with fatigue. Her prayers grew more desperate, her words to God more urgent. "Let me not fail. Let my work not be in vain." Meanwhile, Vanessa seemed untouchable. She returned at dawn with smudged lipstick but unbothered eyes, slept half the day, then appeared on campus only to laugh with friends or post pictures online. Rumors swirled louder now, her connection with a certain lecturer, the way he graded her papers differently, the favors whispered about in dorm corridors. Ruth heard it all but bit her tongue. Silence was safer. Then came the first crack in Vanessa's perfect facade. One evening, Ruth entered their room to find Vanessa sitting on the edge of her bed, phone pressed against her ear, face pale with frustration. Her laughter was gone, replaced by silence and clenched fists. When she hung up, her eyes glistened, a rare moment of weakness. She quickly reached for her makeup bag, dabbing powder on her cheeks, as if erasing tears before they could fall. Ruth pretended not to notice, though her chest tightened. For the first time, she realized Vanessa was not made of steel but of glass, flawless until it cracked. The results board arrived days later. The corridor was a storm of bodies, students shouting, hugging, some in tears. Ruth stood frozen, her result sheet trembling in her hand. She had passed, but barely. Every hour of prayer, every sleepless night in the library had carried her only across the finish line by inches. She turned, and there was Vanessa. Smiling. Carefree. Waving her result sheet like a trophy. She had passed easily, untouched by struggle. Her friends surrounded her, showering her with praise. For Ruth, the paper in her hand felt like mockery. That night, Ruth prayed longer than ever. Her whispers stretched into the silence, her voice a fragile lifeline in the dark. Across the room, Vanessa scrolled on her phone, laughing faintly at something on her screen, a box of fried chicken perched on Ruth's desk like an afterthought. 2 women. 2 lives. 1 room. The distance between them had never felt wider.